किरण आपका हैंड रेज्ड है, उसको हैंड हटा दीजिए, रेज्ड है उसको। किरण डांगी, आपका हैंड रेज्ड है, फिर आ गया, फिर हटाइए।
Our panelists are joining us shortly, and we will be starting shortly. Hanuman sir, Prachi ma'am will be joining us shortly. Other two panelists we have. So we shall wait for 2 minutes
या प्लीज,
as you.
यस, यस।
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Uh, Hanuman sir, shall we start with the meeting, with the panel discussion, if it's permitted from your side?
यस, पैनलिस्ट आर जॉइंट।
Yeah, yes, sir. All the panelists, all the three have joined.
ओके प्लीज।
Okay. Thank you, sir. So, a very good morning to one and all. At the outset, I would like to welcome everyone in this panel discussion on digital startups in education industry opportunity, organized by Entrepreneurship Development Cell and Navodhyam Club, Faculty of Management Studies, Mohanlal Sukhadia University, Udaipur. So, as per the tradition of our university, we would like to start with our Kulgi. All of you are requested to kindly stand up for the Kulgeet and kindly keep your mics on mute mode while the Kulgeet is being played. And please do not clap after it is over. So thank you everyone. With the increasing number of edtech startups in India, the industry has seen an immense growth. Let's hear it from the founders what goes behind these startups and how they are contributing towards education. So, today we have among us Dr. Prachi Gaur, CEO Remarkable Education Private Limited, Arijita Singhvi ma'am, founder and CEO Escalate, Dr. Himanshu Puri, Chief Advisor GrabGuidance.com. So, on behalf of FMS and on my behalf, I would like to welcome you all three panelists for this panel discussion and for the formal welcome address. I would like to invite our very dynamic Director and Chairman, sir, Director and Chairman of Faculty of Management Studies, Professor Hanuman Prasad, sir. So is the coordinator of the Entrepreneurship Development Cell and so many accolades and awards to his name, including the Best Business Academic of the Year. Sir has also so many publications and he has authored a book, Quality Management Practices in Financial Institutes of Rajasthan, and a lot more. Under his regime, he has given new dimensions to FMS and EDC. So I would like to invite you, sir, for the welcome address. Over to you, Hanuman Prasad, sir.
Thank you, Ranu. A very good morning, one and all. The panelists of today's panel discussion, Prachi Gaurji, Arjita ji, alphabet starting from my name, Hanuman, Himanshu Puriji, Sachin ji, the moderator of today's this panel discussion, Ranu Nagori madam, faculty members, research scholars, teaching consultants, and my dear students. It is indeed a matter of happiness for me that today we have three startup educationists actually, and in our audience, lot of research scholars who are also aspiring to be having startups, and hosting such a program is really beneficial for our students, and therefore at the outset let me welcome all the panelists present here. Our honorable vice chancellor could not be present today because he is busy with lot of university activities. We are organizing lot of webinars under his leadership. We are organizing a lot of panel discussions. We are doing a lot of social activities under his leadership. And this is also one of the programs which is being organized under his guidance. He has conveyed his blessings to all the research scholars, students, and has given best wishes to all the panelists who are present here today. There is somebody who is presenting. Yeah, thank you. So he has given best wishes to all the panelists who are present today. he has said that we believe that this discussion, this panel discussion, is going to be a milestone in nurturing Atmanirbhar Bharat in the field of education. And therefore, he has said that this particular panel discussion would be a path breaking for our scholars, our students, and those who are attending the program today. On behalf of Faculty of Management Studies, I would like to welcome Prachi Gaurji. Rather, I would say it is really remarkable that you are here as a CEO of Remarkable Education. We, on behalf of Faculty of Management Studies, welcome you, madam. It is my personal opinion that we have seen a lot of aggressive marketing of children-oriented education startups, but we have seen very few education startups which are focusing on another segment, which is graduation or competition or such kind of, that too online I am talking of digital, because today's topic is on digital startups. So very few are focusing on that, and I think this is an opportunity which is available to the people who are present in the audience, who are present online. I would once again like to welcome you, madam, Prachi madam. I think the another panelist present in the program would give slate to board to this people present in this online program. I would like to welcome Madam Arjita Singhvi madam from Ek Slate, and she is the CEO of that. So it is really proud for us that we are having such a young CEOs in our programs, and that would be really a motivation for all of the people present in the audience. Once again, I would like to welcome you also, madam, from on behalf of Entrepreneurship Development Cell, Faculty of Management Studies, Mohanlal Sukhadia University, Udaipur. Today's panel discussion would help in grabbing the guidance for starting the new education startups. And for that, I would like to welcome our Dr. Himanshu Puriji, who is Chief Advisor of Grab Guidance. And I believe that your input in this panel discussion is going to show a different path, is going to grab the opportunity which I have talked available to all the people. Therefore, on behalf of Entrepreneurship Development Cell, sir, I would also like to welcome and salute you. Our organizer of this program, Sachin ji. Sachin ji is so much excited, so much enthusiastic. You just speak of anything, would present a picture with the speakers. All the speakers present today is the identification of our own Dr. Sachin Gupta ji, who is co-coordinator of Entrepreneurship Development Cell. All credit goes to him, and I would like to request all the people present in the audience to just put a salute to him, that he is here and he has made this program success. The moderator of our today's program, Ranu Nagori, is very active. She is convening also, and she is moderator also. And therefore, whenever there is a program, backhand supports, 100% backhand support is there of our research scholars, and dominant among them is Ranu Nagori. Many of our research scholars of the department are also present in this program. I could see few names like Twinkle is there. I could see like Varun Chaudhary ji is there. And I would like to welcome very senior person present in our online meeting, that is Girja Shankar Trivedi Sahib, which I can see is present, and we are really motivated, sir, that you are present here in the audience in the online meeting. We would like to welcome you, sir, on behalf of Faculty of Management Studies. I understand there are many staff members of our Faculty of Management Studies. Few of them I could see. Kiran is there, Ria is there, Gajendra is there, and few more are there. I am not able to take names of all. Even our some teaching consultants, Shreya Singhvi is there, and many of the people are present here on behalf of Faculty of Management Studies. On behalf of Entrepreneurship Development Cell, I would like to welcome one and all, and it is the people who are present in the online meeting. They have made this program successful, and therefore my big salute to one and all on behalf of Faculty of Management Studies, Entrepreneurship Development Cell. Once again, I would like to welcome you all. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for the motivating doses that you give us. Always we require such doses. Now, moving further, education and learning are not new to anyone, but the growing industry of edtech and increasing ventures, they have definitely raised a lot of questions and curiosity in the young minds. So let's find out answers to some of these questions by interacting with the people who have been building these startups and witnessing the journey firsthand. Well, Prachi ma'am, whether or not, the first question is to you, ma'am. So we welcome you, ma'am. The question is whether or not edtech companies are all about money or have created genuine and effective tools for student productivity.
Sorry, not really audible.
Okay, ma'am, I'm repeating the question again. The question for you is, ma'am, whether or not the edtech companies are all about money or have created genuine and effective tools for student productivity.
Well, certainly. First of all, thank you so much, Professor Dr. Hanuman sir, the entire team of Mohanlal Sukhadia University for inviting me here. I'm really grateful and honored to be here. And also a very big thank to Sachin ji. He's been coordinating since long. So thank you so much from the entire team. Now, Ranu, this question is quite important. Yes, we all are in edtech, and it is something totally different area where we start from. But let me tell you why the young entrepreneurs, how are we people getting motivated? हम कैसे इस particular industry में entry ले रहे हैं? That's something which is absolutely different. There is always a reason to do something. If you will find one or the another thing, सबसे ज्यादा important है, हम सबका education background जो है 90% लोगों का कुछ और होता है, and then they switch over something else because then they find out the problem, and then that's where they figure out that this is the problem they are trying to look forward to solve, right? Similarly, I had my entire education in branding and design, but this was something which was lacking behind in my own area. Why am I going little off to the topic? Because just trying to give little brief about the entire area कि हम कैसे उस चीज को tool को figure out करके why is it important and how do we take it. So when we talk about money for the student, money for the business, and also the service which we are trying to provide to all. So when it comes to productivity, reason, and service, the major reason which comes under the picture is we actually face those problems we saw and we were trying to resolve those problems. So yes, definitely, money and business is important, but at the same time, this is for the students, for the parents, for teachers. Actually, what we are working for is for the youth of the nation. The problem, the challenges, what we faced when we were, younger, we really do not want others to face, or there are number of others, like obviously Arjita will be speaking, and Grab Guidance will be speaking the same, because when I was going through. So these are small things. Somehow we are actually trying to resolve the problems. So it's majorly a problem solving attitude, rather looking for money as an oriented. So initially we are absolutely on another planet जहाँ पे हम सब कुछ खुद ही कर रहे होते हैं, but our major motivation is कि हमें इस problem को solve करना है, because we are passionate and we look that particular thing from the core कि ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए, हम emotionally उस चीज से connected होते हैं. I believe I would be able to answer your question. Over to you, Ran.
Definitely, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, in addition to this, we are moving further to Arjita, ma'am. So, ma'am, whether or not the tools motivate students to learn, as well as how much they weigh the costs of delivery that they have, the delivery, the accessibility over standards, testing, data collection, and the superficial judgments of the teacher. What would you you would like to say upon this, ma'am? Arjita, ma'am.
Thank you, Ranu. Firstly, I'd like to take a minute and humbly thank Professor Hanuman for his kind words. Also, deep gratitude to Dr. Sachin for being so supportive and making sure that we are a part of this process. Answering your question, Ranu, first of all, I feel learning is a lifelong concept. And I would like to take a bit of what Prachi ma'am just said, that when you are taking up an entrepreneurial journey or anything that is around your startup, there is a problem-solving attitude, right? And in my understanding, that is what segregates a small business from a startup. As a startup, you're trying to fulfill a gap that exists in the market, and that requires a lot of processes. So anything that you just spoke about, whether it was the research that goes behind or whatever the cost is of all these things that are cumulatively building the product or service, at the end of the day, I think that might or might not really be cost effective depending on how exactly are you going ahead with the process. But learning at the same time as an entrepreneur or in a startup comes by default. I mean, as an entrepreneur, you can either succeed or you can learn. There is no failing, and I truly believe in that. So no matter how many attempts it takes and how many learnings you have through the way, at the end of the day, you are going to fulfill whatever vision you set out for. The paths might change, the solutions might change, but the core problem remains the same.
Thank you, ma'am. That's great. Now, let's introduce our next panelist, Himanshu Puri, sir. We welcome you again, sir. And the question for you is that you are the chief advisor of grabguidance.com, sir. So the question for you is that how is your startup making learning easier or more accessible for all?
Yeah. All right. So thank you so much, Ranu, for the question. But before moving to the answer of it, again, I was impressed by one thing of, the way Professor Dr. Hanuman, introduced us. So thank you so much, and salute to you as well, because, the creativity that you put in introducing was never thought of. So thank you so much, sir. And definitely, Dr. Sachin has been, great in coordinating everything. So thank you so much, sir, to you too. And moving on to the question. Yes, Ranu, before answering this, like you mentioned, like what value add we are adding as a Grab Guidance. Before that, it would be very important for everyone to know what we actually do, right? So see, I think I totally agree with what Prachi and Arjita has just spoken about. Until unless we add value into the system, we are nobody. We are useless, honestly, because either we have to provide some more quality, right? Because institutions are already doing that, right? Either we support that, add on to that, plus provide a convenient factor. So right now, if you see across the industry also, convenience is the factor which is giving a major boost to all the online companies. So today, Grab Guidance, like how we are adding value. Let me take an example only, So as a Grab Guidance, we are actually connecting the two people. Here, one person is a learner and another is an expert. So we are connecting on a platform both of these people and solving a couple of problems. First problem is a learner doesn't know whom I should approach to. So here it's a search platform, Google like search, put in your query. I'm a MBA student. I need guidance in this subject, or probably, interview preparation. You will find hundreds and thousands of people who can really guide you. So you will have a Amazon kind of a platform wherein you can meet those experts, find those experts. So finding is one problem that Grab Guidance is solving. So that's a value add, because right now I'm at my home. If I want to get connected with a person, it's really difficult in the COVID times, honestly, right? So now I'm getting connected virtually. Moreover, when I'm connected there, then what happens is I need to have a complete, booking being done with them, because I need to have a common slot being booked with, for example, Ranu is my expert and I am a student. I need to find out when Ranu is available to talk to me, right? So the booking platform is also integrated in the same system. After you search it, I will be able to book a slot with Ranu. So that's how value add is happening. So it's a complete, schedule management system which is coming into the picture when it comes to a guidance here. Now, moving on to the third part where the value add is being happening is, now today, obviously Ranu is probably sitting in another city. I'm in Delhi. Very difficult to meet in person, right? So here we are talking about the virtual world, online edtech companies making this happen. So we have integrated our, inbuilt conferencing system wherein I will have, like today we are using Meet. We have our own thing in our Grab Guidance portal. So after I have booked a session with you, I'll be able to have a one-on-one interaction with you so seamlessly like what we are having it today. So that is how, with this example, you got to know that, we are adding value at 3 phases. Finding the right person who can be an expert for me, matching the schedule with them, right? Either for a one meeting or probably for a, hundreds of meeting planned in the next whole year as well. And third, having a online delivery mechanism of a class as well. So that's how, until unless we found out those gaps, it's really difficult. Until unless you add value, I think you are nobody. So that's how, when we talk of the whole ecosystem, these guys, the big sharks that I call them as, and everybody know their name, they have been adding value regardless to say, because nobody is perfect. Even the education system, I have been an educator myself, being a professor, teaching the MBAs and even PhD students, honestly. But I moved to the edtech sector and saw a lot of gaps here, right? And you see, we are talking about in Grab Guidance as a one-on-one. So just one more example here, because I was a ex-Upgrad also. So Upgrad is a $1 billion a company today, a unicorn. And in 2015, we started creating the online courses in India when nobody even thought of. Very honestly, 2015, nothing was selling actually. And the course was like 50,000, 1 lakh rupees. Then they thought, why not to get connected with the university? Then they started getting in touch with, say, universities and all. And but again, a recorded session can never, replace what I can teach you right now in person. So that's how we picked up a couple of things wherein, live thing is probably, pretty important. And I saw Arijita's, venture also. She's also focusing on live. So we know that, live is something which is probably important, because what Professor Hanuman can teach in a class, I can't justify it by recording him. Honestly, that is what my belief, because I've been an educator myself. So that's how, value add is very important. We have to give something to the learners. Until unless you can't flourish, very honestly, you'd fail.
Exactly, sir. So well explained with the help of examples and everything.
Yeah.
So, sir, management is also always important. Yes, the way you have given example, and since we are from the management field, so you'll see that. And to all your knowledge, let me tell you all that there are more than 3,500 edtech startups prevailing here. You all will be surprised to know that. Now, moving on further, we are talking about the quality of the content and everything. So, Prachi ma'am, the question is for you. So, do edtechs explore the quality of the content provided by the tools, and whether or not it encourages deeper thought? Shall I repeat?
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. So the question is, do edtechs explore the quality of the content provided by the tools, and whether or not it encourages deeper thought? So the critical thinking, ma'am.
Well, definitely. It's a wonderful question, Ranu. Let me tell you something about remarkable education first. Why is it important? How critical thinking plays an important role in every student's and also in teacher's life. Remarkable education is, or beyond that, let's see, there are more than 3.5 million students all across India, right? And not even 10,000 certified career counselors. And many students, like, I mean, I'm here will not talk about others. Even in fact, if I talk about myself, because when I raise finger to anyone, there are three on my side. So let's start by myself. Like, even when I am graduated from design, I've been teaching in government institution, taking lectures, workshops, and everything. But that too in design. Where did my forte lies into? I'm more into consultancy. I enjoy that. If in case there would be someone to guide me, yes, you are good in design, you enjoy designing skills, you enjoy creativity, but that's something you may design this future of other students, like a psychologist or probably a career coach, but we never even thought of it. The reason behind that, the directions were going off tracks. We were not really very much aware of. There were no right tools to give directions to everyone. The critical thinking plays an important role where we could understand from our childhood. Our parents are the one who nurture our childhood and then we've grown up because कूद के पाँव पालने में नजर आते हैं. But उसके बाद 10th के सब्जेक्ट चूज करने में we all forget. जब हमें पता होता है कि आप साइंस या आप फुटबॉलर बनोगे या आप इंजीनियर बनोगे क्योंकि आप छोटी मोटी चीजें कर रहे हो. But what happens to the parent जब वो 10th का सब्जेक्ट चूज कर रहा होता है? That moment of time, we are influenced with couple of things. We'll be talking further, but they're major influencers. And the one major important thing, we live in an Indian society, you see. So वहाँ पर हमारा career 99.9% parents decide करते हैं, right? Or our percentage. Because percentage अच्छा होगा, तो ही will be getting science. What if I'm very good in science, but just because of other subject I could not choose that? Or I got into that. So there are certain other reasons, and that's where we need to be very critical enough to understand things from the core and see the skill set of the child. And that is where, when I talk about critical thinking, when you talk about critical thinking, where it encourages, to understand every core value of the child. Because I believe as a career coach, every child is unique in themselves. Every single student is unique. I'm a young mother. I'm a 4-year-old mother, or rather I would say I'm a 4.9-year-old mother, right? So I know कि मैंने मेरे बच्चे का upbringing 9 months से लेके 4 साल तक कैसे किया है, and then I would know better than anyone else. But what role are we playing? Because through the entire process, what is actually happening? We do something else, we think of something else, we enjoy for something else, we are passionate about something else, but we end up doing something else just because of on our grades. We have totally something else in our hand. And then that's what we pursue. We forget our IQ, we forget our ability, we forget our aptitude, we forget our personality, we forget everything. We just believe in that one piece of a paper, or we get into certain emotions जो हमारे family और parents के होते हैं. So that's where this critical thinking plays a very important role, because this is your life. You're gonna live that. We spend hell lot of time in buying clothes, right? If I talk about all the girls, even myself, हम एक mall में जाएंगे, पूरा दिन घूम के आएंगे. But that is even difficult for us to select one single garment, right? Or even if we go to the restaurant, we see the menu and then we discuss and we spend time. यहाँ जाना है, वहाँ जाना है, कहाँ जाना है, and even if we reach there, we spend a lot of time to select one dish. Even though we can experience that once again, but can I be a doctor today? Can I be an engineer today? I just can't be anything, right? So there are certain things which you marry with, and that's what I feel personally. So we need to understand ourselves rather depending on anyone else. So that way, critical thinking, that skill is very important. I believe through Remarkable Education, even we provide these skills to the school students and college students, so the core, to make them understand what they are actually unique at. We conduct these workshops even in the government institutes, and also to National Institute of Fashion Technology, IIT, and other institutions, where we help them in understanding their core from from the basic to the basic level, so that they are able to understand, even in engineering or XYZ, what is that they enjoy the most, that particular one thing. And through certain exercises, so which called self-rating analysis, and that makes you feel from within कि this is something which I was looking for, I was thinking, but ये तो मुझे पता ही नहीं था कि मैं ये भी कर सकता हूँ. But that one thing of that thinking skills I mean, we call it critical thinking, but there are small things which are normally we used to do, but it's just because we are around about too many things, we are, among too many people, we are circulated or connected with too many suggestions out there. Internet is also there, so Google is the answer for everything. Google Baba nowadays, and Wikipedia, ma'am. So it's all available, and then we actually do not think more about ourselves. So knowing yourself is one major key, right? So वो तो साइड में होता है. We majorly focus on what? हम फोकस करते हैं जो इंटरनेट कह रहा है, जो ट्रेंड कह रहा है, एंड वी बिलीव ऑन अदर्स मोर. हमारा अपने ऊपर से ना ट्रस्ट धीरे धीरे जाने लग जाता है, एंड दैट इज वेयर दिस क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग, द एंटायर कंटेंट एक्चुअली जो होता है वो उसमें आपको डेवलप करता है. व्हाट इफ यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द कंटेंट जो क्वालिटी एडटेक के थ्रू प्रोवाइड करता है, तो वो उनको एक्चुअली नर्चर करता है, उनका लैंडमार्क क्रिएट करता है स्टेप बाय स्टेप. दिस इज वेयर आई सी माई सेल्फ, एंड टू रीच देयर आई शुड बी दिस, to reach there I should be this first, and yahan se pehle mujhe yahan hona chahiye, and today I am here. So the ladder is very clear in your mind, so that you all can, the straight road with small challenges which are called speed breakers, which we all enjoy, like the way we are going back to our home. Over to you, Rani.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. So you cannot swim for new horizons until you have courage to lose the sight of the shore, and this is proved by the life story of Dr. Prachi Gaur. So very well explained, ma'am. Now, Arjita, ma'am, next question is for you, ma'am. So you are the founder, CEO of Excelate, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. So is the growth of edtech startups a threat to the existing institutes? This is the big question nowadays we have. Over to you, Arjita, ma'am.
This is quite a controversial question to begin with. But I guess, and I think I speak on behalf of the collective, that it all boils down to collaboration over competition. Because, and I'm pretty sure both Prachi ma'am and Himanshu sir would agree with me that the startups are not here to replace the existing education system at all. They are here to enhance what already exists. All of us in our journeys in some capacity or the other have experienced some kind of a gap that was there, and something additional that could be provided to every learner that would enhance whatever they were already being provided with. I'd like to take two bits here, one from what Himanshu sir had said about the one-on-one experiences. The future of learning is personalized learning, because as learners, we are all becoming really aware, and that is exactly where what Prachi ma'am said comes in. That we go through menus, we go through the mall, there are so many choices that we have in front of us, but are we really aware of the kind of options that we have? With a combination of all these things, I think today's student is becoming much more aware. I mean, I recently was in college about 2-3 years ago, and when I was going for engineering, I was an engineering student. I was an accidental engineer. Like, I ended up in engineering because I did not know how to pursue my dream of journalism. I did not know what are the correct scopes, how exactly to go about it. But today I'm in a much better place where I know that I have options, I have people I can go to. There are a lot of startups that are helping with these things, and not just that, even the leading giants or the sharks of the market, or the people who are dominating the edtech industry as such. If you look at it, no matter how much the industry grows, which has prominently grown in the last 5-6 years, it is not going to replace the current education system anywhere in the next decade, or I don't know when, because at the end of the day, this is India. And it will take a lot of time for people to get used to the unconventional methods of learning, and the success will only be achieved when both the existing institutes and the new growing startups come together. Because at the end of the day, both are trying to do the same thing, help the learners in some way or the other. It all comes down to how exactly and what are the practices that they are following. So I don't believe that it is a threat at all. I just believe it's an opportunity that we are yet to capitalize on.
Great, ma'am. So the next question is again for you only. So what gaps are you trying to bridge through your product, and how it is helpful for any learner? Please.
Okay.
Answer.
So talking about Slate comes from my own personal experience. So when I was a school student, I was very curious. I used to ask a lot of questions: why, how, what, and I was one of those annoying students in my class that teachers, didn't really enjoy having. So it all started at that time. I always used to question whatever the existing system was, and then it just kept on building on during my college days, etc. So egg slate is pretty simple. Right now, we are capitalizing on school students, 6 to 12 standards, 11 to 18 years of age. And shortly, we will be launching a college series of capsule courses for college students as well. But the idea is very, very simple. No two learners are same, neither should their learning journeys be. So we personalize their experience through 3 communities: mentors, teachers, and counselors. And their experience, however, whatever journey the student is going through, is built upon their learning pace, their learning style, the kind of learning outcome they are looking at. So it is all a personalized experience, and all of this is delivered through the help of our experts, mentors, and counselors.
Great, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, Himanshu sir, I would like to ask you that I would like rather for an advice that would you like to give to anyone who is planning to build an edtech startup. So,
Okay.
over to you, sir.
Okay. So, see, first of all, let me take it sequentially only. See, any startup, thought comes up when there is an idea in the mind. Everyone agree to that, right? Probably, right? So when you have an idea, the first thing you have to see from where this idea is coming in, because they probably, like Arjita mentioned, like, it was a personal experience. So idea might be coming in from the personal experience, or you are so proactive that you analyze the industry so well and you try to find out those gaps like we have been talking about. So there are like two ways to look at it, right? So when there is an idea, the first thing advice for everyone is to validate on it, because unless you validate it, you might end up doing something which is not needed. Because usually, like, there's also a saying, more than 90% of the startups fail because of so many reasons. So the reason can be, so money is the very smallest part actually, because there is a long debate, I didn't have money, so I couldn't grow, I had to shut down. No, money is a very small part to it. There are numerous reasons. You might not have a right team, right? You might not have an idea which is scalable. You might not have an idea which should be even pursued at the first instance. So validating idea is the first thing that everyone needs to do. If in case there is an idea, just think it over. Who's my first customer? Just think it over. Is there any competitor in that industry? If there is competitor, then analyze what extra or something different that you are you're giving it to the same TG, right? And most importantly, do a product survey. So these are very hacks which are very important. Nobody does that. I come up with an idea and start implementing it. No, there has to be a sequential of thoughts going on. So product survey gives you a right feedback, asking what a customer wants, what exactly his problems are. Then only you would be able to decide the feature of your product or a service for that matter. And most importantly, I'll take an example here, couple of example I would say, because when Make My Trip was launching somewhere in 2004 and 5, honestly, 2004 and 5, no internet. I mean no internet, no customer was actually used to it. But they analyzed their competition. IRCTC was there. IRCTC was transforming the whole industry and bringing the people to do online booking for the train. From there they picked up, and they thought, yes, if they can do it, definitely they got an idea, a validation. This is what validation is. Yes, I think Make My Trip can do it in a very early phase. I'll give you one more example. Dropbox. So, and this is a new technique I'm talking about. So Dropbox, when they were starting off, cloud space, nobody was aware of. It was a pretty new concept. Cloud के ऊपर आप अपना data store कर रहे हो. People were very uncomfortable. Cyber crimes होते हैं इंडिया में तो पता भी नहीं चलता. आपका cloud में पूरा data चोरी हो गया. Business is over next day. But what they did, they created a landing page, right? They didn't created the whole website. So that's a hack. Before going further with a idea, just take a step-by-step approach. Have a landing page, test it out, do a Facebook marketing, do a Google ads, and that's about it. Just spending 5,000 rupees, you'll get an idea how people are behaving to your idea. Most importantly, what they did was they put up a form wherein they started accepting the some amount also for that matter, so that they got to know that there is a paying capacity also with the people for this kind of a product. So these are the step-by-step approach: analyzing competition, looking into doing a product survey, talking to your customer, talking to your mentors. So these are the couple of advice in a very early stage. Down the line, definitely, when you have an idea, you need people to run it. It's like you alone can't do it, right? You need a good team, probably a team of co-founders, or probably a team who can work under you. So a good team is very much important, because at the end, a business is to be run looking into so many other things: marketing, finance, HR, so many things, like like a management guy knows. And most importantly, after you have scaled up, obviously money comes into the picture. Then money comes into the picture, because in the beginning, definitely you have some savings probably, or you can rely on friends and family. Yeah. But down the line, obviously, probably if your idea demands a huge burn, a huge monthly burn, money being spent, then probably reaching out to the investors is one great stuff. In the early stage, you can reach out to the accelerators, then angels, and then probably you can move out to VC. So that is how we've been doing always. So yes, that's again a long, it will take me a long to discuss on the VC part, funding part. But yeah, just to keep it brief, that is how, these are a couple of advice for an early stage person I can, give it here.
Thank you, Himanshu sir. Now, Ajita ma'am, in addition to this question only, first of all, I would like to ask for the advice that you want to give and the marketing moves that you are using for your AdTech startup. Kindly share something on this.
Correct me if I'm wrong, marketing moves, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Firstly, on the advice part, I think pretty much everything has been covered by Himanshu sir, because this is actually how the process looks like. But just to add on a few things, I feel if you go by this process, that you have certain parameters, that this is how step by step to proceed, you will avoid a lot of early startup mistakes that most of the founders end up making. Because when you just have an idea and you go out in the market and try to experiment a lot without having a basic structure in place, there are higher possibilities that maybe your burn rate will be high, or maybe you will fail often before reaching to the right process or method. So that is definitely there. But because a lot of people here are planning to start up or might start up in the future, so the one advice I would have is having the right mindset. Because starting up from the outside, or entrepreneurship from the outside, looks very fancy. And it has been in the Indian society right now, the entire version has been romanticized in a way that if you're an entrepreneur, you're hustling, you are following your passion, and 9 to 5 is not the right thing to do and all. It is not true. Entrepreneurship has its own sets of challenges. So when you are starting up, please have the right mindset and know that it takes a lot of patience, persistence, and discipline to proceed ahead. And second thing is definitely the process that Himanshu sir said. I think that is the best approach to go ahead with. And one personal advice that I personally have started like practicing on my own is that it takes quite some time, and you have to be very, very, very on point with your determination that you have to achieve whatever you set out for. And don't fall in love with your solution that you have thought for your idea, because it will constantly evolve. No startup has started with one idea and stayed stuck with the same idea for a long time. Everything keeps changing. Just the core essence of it remains the same. So that's on the advice part. Talking about the marketing perspective or practices, I honestly feel, after reading a lot and researching a lot, that today we are living in a world where jo dikhta hai, wo bikta hai. And that is exactly where marketing comes into picture. Marketing is one of the strongest pillars of any business. And when we started as Slate, so one of the services that we were providing was tutoring, which means if you're providing tutoring to school students, there's already a huge amount of competition that is existing. I will not take names, but we all know that there are companies that have so much resource, so much funds, that you can never really compete with them when you're just starting out. So when we used to call to learners, they did not recognize us, of course. So they were like, nahi, hamara bachcha yahan se padh raha hai, hamara bachcha wahan se padh raha hai. So we understood there is a significant gap. Of course, digital marketing and SEO and all these things that are common practices today, we did all of that. But additionally, something that we have been doing, which has quite fruitfully resulted in good gains, is various campaigns that we ran. The first campaign was Chupa Rustam. So Chupa Rustam was a lead generation campaign that we ran, which was done pan-India. So So we reached out to various schools, partnered with them, and the idea was very simple: to identify students who have unique talents. And the 21 students who won, so we had around 900 applications and 250 shortlisted candidates. So this was a lead generation activity. For the students, it might have been a platform, of course, it benefited them, we recognized them, we nurtured them. But for us, it was also a medium to get known in the schools by the parents and all of it. Now that we call students to pitch a product, they know what X8 is because they have received a trophy from us or they have received a participation certificate. So this is one of the activities that we followed. Apart from the regular SEO, digital marketing, social media, of course. Social media is like the thing today. And of course, having a good website and just having regular communications and content really helps. So yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. So technology is making education more accessible and affordable. Right?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay, ma'am. So in addition to all these two previous questions, I would like to ask Prachi, ma'am, that what kind of opportunities are now present for a student who is planning to take up entrepreneurship?
Well, there are tremendous opportunities. Obviously, you walk left, you walk right, you see straight, you see up. Opportunities is just how you see them, to be honest. As an entrepreneur, when I decided, I mean, this is not the first startup where I have. I mean, this is my third. So one was in UK, second was there in India itself, which I sold, and then this is the third one. Now, the one thing which I would like to tell everyone here, when you are looking forward to be, okay, so we need to come up with the mindset, to be honest, when you being an entrepreneur or even the aspiring entrepreneur, the budding entrepreneur, those who are actually thinking even of it. There are certain situations we come up with, we do not have any solution, or we get into a kind of a situation that we do not have anything. हमें कुएं में भी जाते हैं ना, तो भी हमें वहां से कुछ ना कुछ लेके ही बाहर निकलना होता है, right? I'm so sorry, because being a counselor, there's something where I come up with certain stories to explain and come up with something where people are, easy to understand for them all. So हम कभी कभार ऐसी situations में आते हैं, to every time to all my students I say, we come up with certain things, we come up with certain situations, we really want to, but then we are not aware of what to do. We think of that there's something, because we get inspired. What do we get inspired with? What is idea actually? See, it is all collective thought. What we see, what we observe, what we see others growing. So we collect all those things together, and then we combine them all together, and then we come up with something new, which this is what we call new as in, right? And that new, the way you are actually presenting with your something unique USP or unique selling point, right? But that's one small thing. But every single startup or every single business has one or the another competitor in XYZ way. Everyone is doing. So if something which I am doing, I absolutely, accept the fact what Arjita has been saying and Himanshu has been saying, but there's something like, the way the marketing and the startup industry grows. Similarly, the marketing part where Arjita mentions, and then she was like, there's a collaborative approach. So we gather things, we see things, rather competing, rather thinking, or seeing and finding out one small negative point in the others, and then saying, this is one thing which we can do best. We just can't see ourselves in their shoes. And you just can't read the cover and understand the entire book inside. Ki bhai, main inse better kar sakta hu. You don't know what they have gone through with to be here. So when you talk about the opportunities, yes, there are a number of, but you need to find out again the core, what you are good at and what is the need of an hour. So there is need, want, and necessity, right? There's certain startups even, I believe in failing fast, but the certain startups are like, just because we are passionate. And when we talk about, we just talk about ourselves, our startup, what is actually required. So we need to think from the others, from the customer value point of view, or customers or client mindset, that this is what is required in the society. And this is what actually, the demand is there. And we are here as an entrepreneur to resolve this problem, to solve this problem. And that's where opportunities comes in the picture. So rather coming up with XYZ ideas, come up with solutions, I would say. Think. Again, critical thinking. So problem solving attitude is more important being an entrepreneur. And I say always about myself, when I was coming, when I moved back to India, my entire family and everyone. In fact, when I was married here in Jodhpur, here even everyone was like, from London to Jodhpur, आपको कोई और best place नहीं मिली क्या? And a very good, sister from another mother. I have very good. I'll name her Hemlata Mishra. She's unique in herself. I'm naming her because that's something personal relationship I share with her. And she even asked this question, and one answer which I gave her. It's always good to be in a different position, because that's the place where you see and understand your capabilities and the problem solving attitude. So when I landed, there was something for everyone. It was this, right? There's nothing, but still, where there is nothing, there is everything. Is just how you pursue and how you observe and how you resolve all those things. So opportunities, again, there are a number of. Do not think as an idea, and as Himanshu was saying, validation point of view, money, scalability and everything. Think from the totally another perspective, how you can pursue and present that into, or solve that problem, which is actually required in the market or the society, and then your way of, resolving that problem. Probably there will be number of people, those who are solving that problem. If we talk about Byju's, we talk about Unacademy, we talk about Vedantu, there many are similar, but everyone has that one unique or one different way of Vinny all recently has been doing tremendous job. They are, they're connected with number of institutions and where they're providing the services, right? Purohit. So he's doing great, but again, that's one simple problem, and then the way he's resolved that problem. So the way you resolve that problem is important. Problem solving. Do not look for simple opportunities. Look for the problems and try resolving. So start coming up with these solutions, XYZ solution. And one point from Himanshu's and Arjita's thing I would like to state here. Research, as Himanshu was saying, that is really very important. And Arjita said the competition. Yes, competition. As she said, collaborations is more important, because see, we all are in the same boat, and it's something which everyone requires. So let's say if he is into grab guidance, so career counseling, which child needs to get into what? Egg slate, or I also get number of students, but I can, share my students. This is something my colleague provides. I know someone very good who provides. So it's about sharing and caring, which we teach our child from day one. But then when we grow as an entrepreneur, we look every single product in terms of business. So education has become into a business format. It is not business. It's majorly you understand the core and then look upon the solution. So abhi jaise hum school ki fees pay nahi kar rahe, right? So number of things are happening, but solution, we are not able to come up with the solution. Neither the government sometimes, right? Because no one has a solution. But one thing is, an entrepreneur, the best part of an entrepreneurship is you are solution oriented, and once you are solution oriented, you can come up with anything, and that's where opportunity. So the bullseye is solution. Over to you.
Great, ma'am. Thank you. So one can go anywhere, and if he can go anywhere, he can go everywhere. That is what the moral of the story. Thank you, ma'am. So this is the last question to all the three panelists. The question for you all is that, where do you see these startups in the next 5 years? For all the panelists, so you can answer, ma'am, first, no problem. Please. Over to you, Prachi, ma'am.
Okay. Well, in the next 5 years, well, like the way we see every seed growing, like the way we see every child growing, obviously. And in terms of business, like Arjita said, do not love your startup, right? I'm sorry, but I accept the fact, but I still love, because that's my first baby, I would say, because that actually grew when I was expecting. So that was the moment, because it's not my first, but I have a lot of kids where I say. So the one thing which I would like to say, in the next 5 years, I believe I'll be having more and more and more and more and as many kids as possible, where I'll be able to give everyone till the end, jahan se wo apna right career and right direction choose kar sake, because we are not working for one, we are working for the youth of the nation. Yes, I'm very passionate about it, even leaving after my number of opportunities, because that's where I feel and I see India growing. Because the next generation, what is coming after 5 years, I believe that 3.5 million or 10,000 would be somewhere around in 1 million, and then that's where we will be able to make the change, that everyone is into the right job and everyone would be enjoying, so that we all also be having the right candidates for our job opportunities. When we fill the job application form, you would know that who is there actually applying for the right opportunity, not for the reason just because to fulfill his needs and family requirements and everything, but just the right person for the right position we all will be getting. And that's what we all are actually looking for. Thank you.
Like you opened this question for everyone, so let me jump in and add to what Prachi has been saying. So absolutely right, Prachi, obviously the market is growing and will ever be growing, we all know. And she been talking about from the education perspective. Yes, what I feel, what we have all seen in corona times is the adoption towards it has been grown widely now. Because if we have talked about having this kind of a session, say 2 to 3 years back, there would have been a lot of problems. People would have been a lot of receptive towards this, right? But today, suddenly after corona, last March, I mean, people have started adopting at a very faster rate. Although still there are a lot of debates going, because when there is a class, 60 people are there, half of them are shutting their cameras off. I don't know whether the effective learning is happening or not. That's why we always talk about, like Arijita was also talking about the effective learning. So yeah, we are moving into the phase. Right now, we have just adopted last year only, and everyone will evolve. Even every institution, colleges, they have moved online and everybody is involving. They are doing the best part what they can do right now. And I think by year end also, I think they will be fully equipped with all those tools. A lot of tools have come up, which are offered by another set of edtech companies, which are completely digitizing. Honestly, we are also kind of digitizing. Like, I'm again taking a cue from what Arijita has been talking about, collaborative effort. We always say, we are no one to call ourselves as school or a college. We are not school, college, university. Honestly, that is what we say to all. The job that school, university, college can do, no edtech company can do. That's one point. But yes, having this last year of COVID-19, having this, people are adopting to this. I see this to be moving toward a hybrid model, right? So this is what we call as a hybrid model, where students are also very comfortable going to the classroom, doing some homework on the online platform which a professor is giving, right? So that's a hybrid sort of environment. So we will honestly, after say 1 or 2 years only, I'm not even talking about the 5 years plan. 5 years, definitely the market will be growing, all those things are there, but hybrid model will be there. Exactly, we have almost adopted into the hybrid model, where even but we will not be shutting down the schools and colleges. People will come, students will come, have an interaction. Nobody can replace that physical interaction with anyone. And then probably a couple of things can be moved online, because now there are companies even digitizing. Even for that matter, Grab Guidance is also sort of tying up with B schools and universities, colleges, and even school for that matter, to digitize their offering. We are not there to replace their teachers, but we are there to add on, provide some industry experts who can really nurture your kids. At the end, what we want is a student passing out from MLSU, for instance, should be successful. That is what any digital partner who's joining hand with MLSU as a tech company will also want same. So there is a collaborative effort. I think everyone has already spoken, but yes, that is what I see as a hybrid model going forward. People are used to it now, and I think it's gonna run like that only. People will definitely do some add-ons on the online tech companies.
Okay, Ajita, ma'am.
Yes. Firstly, this is my favorite question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Because this question is asked everywhere. You go for a job interview, you sit with your team. So, do I have a 5-year roadmap? Yes. But are there uncertainties? Double yes. Because with the entire COVID situation, we'll never really know what the future holds. But there is only just one thing that I'm really looking forward to, and that is 360-degree growth. If every person who has been working together in our team is able to individually grow, and collectively as a startup, if we are able to grow and reach out to more and more learners, I think I will be in a happier position. And I'll again answer the question, hopefully 5 years later, where do we see ourselves in the next 5 years? But yes, if we are able to stay in the market, providing quality results, and actually being aligned and staying true to our original vision, I think that will be a major success for us. So that's pretty much about it. I see us growing as individuals, as a team, as a startup, and in terms of the value that we provide.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. So I would
Ranu,
like
Ranu, if
yes,
you
yes.
allow, can I ask one question?
I was wondering, sir, that you have some question in your mind. I can see from your face. You can go ahead, sir, please.
Thank you, Ranu. My question is to anyone. I mean, to all the three panelists. Anybody can answer. There is a popular, what you can say is popular worry in the parents' mind regarding this screen time. That by this digital one, screen time would be enhanced further for the, particularly for the child or kids, and most of the startups have been focusing on that. So this is one thing. So how do you reply such kind of answer? Because many of the people in the maybe our this online session might be worrying of this, that if suppose such kind of answer we face, such kind of question we face, then how would we answer that? Number one. Number two, which anyone of again can answer, and that is this, that don't we think that by focusing more on small kids, let's say 5 to 10 years or 15 years students, focusing more on them, I mean digital startups on them, are we not playing with the emotions of the parents? And let's emotions of the parents means they are more concerned, and that, and that is how you are targeting those children, that is how you are targeting that segment. So are you doing, I mean, are we doing ethical business? So what is your take on that, if you can reply on that? Thank you.
I'll take the honor to start off. So see, sir, very pertinent question. Even we were facing this question when we started off. That what about the screen time? That's another factor which we have to, as a tech company, have to take care of. And I'll tell you again with the example of Grab Guidance only. We started off by evaluating the industry, and we saw that there is an online course of 200 hours, 50 hours. Obviously you are committing yourself 50 hours of online course. If 50 hours you're gonna watch the TV, a screen, LED, whatever, right? Then we came up with an idea. It's a gap also for that matter. So we are also an online doubt solving platform. We have a session of only 20 minutes. No need to even have a 1 hour. So obviously, when we are a digital company, obviously I'm inviting everyone on a screen. But what best I can do is probably reduce that time and provide a more effective output in the very less time. So that is what we are doing. So if you have a query, say we surveyed also, more than 50% of the students never take a add-on tuitions, right? But they still do have a doubt. I mean, if they have an on-demand service like this, what we are providing, so they come on the portal, upload their 4 questions of maths, just select 20 minutes, and that's about it. They don't need to have an online course or a subscription model of Vedantu being taken up, spending lakhs of rupees, spending hours and hours of, on the screen time. So that is where we came up as an innovative idea. Let's do a session of only 20 minutes. And right now we have been running, a lot of sessions are happening. People are very happy. In that 20 minutes, they are obviously getting a good output. So that is where we are testing also in a way, but that is one thing that we are doing. Now moving on to your second part also, wherein it's very again controversial and debatable, why the edtech companies are focusing on very early stage student, probably less than the 4th class students. One thing, obviously, that question came to us also. So we thought of starting and launching only 8th grade onward. So that is what we sort of avoided. Very honestly, we sort of avoided before getting into, but that's not a solution, I'll tell you. But again, we have to take a call whether to start with the 1st standard to 7th standard also or not. But honestly, I had a chat with one of the person from White Hat Junior. So obviously that's a most controversial company when it comes to this kind of a question. And they always say, have you ever seen their output or a product? So I honestly said, I have not seen. So he countered me. So why are you asking me this question? Honestly, because so I was obviously at the back end, I have not seen, so I couldn't, but people are doing that. So probably, it's again a call of a parent. So I concluded in my mind, it's a call of a parent, whether they want to have that kind of a, it's an option. EdTech companies, they are a business. Very honestly, like Prachi said, business is there. Obviously, they want to earn money. So there is an offering available. Now it's a call of a student as well as majorly a parent, because at that early stage, it's a parent call whether to take that add-on or not. So I was, a sort of a prize to, see their view, side of the story also. That is how they are tackling, and, things are. So again, this is debatable. I have no personal opinion right now because we have sort of avoided it, but yeah, we'll think it over. We'll do a survey on it, whether this market is good enough or not. So that was my viewpoint, and I'll open it for other panelists to talk on these questions maybe.
Ajita, are you going?
Prachi, you go ahead, please.
Well, people say that I speak very simple things, but that's the new normal, sir. I believe the current situation. My child is 4-year-old, and to be honest, abhi tak to wo school hi nahi ja paya because I haven't seen the school. Now, let's say by the next year, if we send him to school, it's going to be totally different because he has already adapted, learned reasoning. So that's at the toddler stage. When you send him to the school, it's going to be totally different situation because he's been around within the comfort zone. And now if we'll be sending him to the school out of the comfort zone with totally new people, he's not. So that's something we need to develop among our kids as well. And that's where within the new normal, I believe for Indian candidates, it's little new. But when we move out, why am I saying this? Because while studying, when I went for my master's to London, it was hell difficult. It was seriously very difficult. I could not compete with other students. Being a very brilliant student of my university and my school, but still it was really very difficult because the level of education, what we have been learning, and the kind of education and experience these students have. Because they work on more practical values, and here we work on more theoretical values. We only know, we have knowledge, but they know how to perform it. And that's where we lag behind. And that is where internet, EdTech plays a better role because we show them the videos, we show them certain actual things, and that's how the kids actually observe, inspire, and then perform. But by reading, it is difficult for them to perform because still they don't know actually what is what. But what we have seen directly, देखा है, उसको perform करना, उसको करना देख के वो बहुत आसान है. Certainly, these things do not take much time. Only if you are too passionate and get into all these things too much. So too much is even for water, for XYZ, even for food, that brings to obesity. So for too much, for everything, कोई भी चीज अति तो हर चीज की खराब है. तो उस चीज का we need to make sure कि too much किसी भी चीज का ना हो. But balanced, yes. Like the way, why are we talking about kids today here? Let's talk about ourselves as an adults. We all are so much engaged in our smartphones. The mothers do not have enough time for their kids. Even the parents and the husbands, even the father do not have enough time for their family. We all, how much time do we spend? No phone time, no screen time at home with our family. Do we really? Even while having lunch or dinner or while going to our office, तो हमारा phone पे message and call चलता, खाना साथ चलता है. So there are many things. So these things, I believe, kids observe what they see. And the observation starts from home. So what we perform, our kids will observe, and then that's what they will perform. The picture has to start. Again, I'm talking here from the psychological and the counseling point of view. But here I'm not talking about EdTech because this is actually the need of an hour today. And that's how we will be able to have everything, like in the chat box as well, which I mentioned, anytime, anywhere. The world is much smaller place today. Today, if I want to learn German, I would be learning German from one of the best German faculty only. And that's the advantage through EdTech which I can have. Otherwise, if EdTech wouldn't be there, I would be learning from local German faculty, जिससे मैं थोड़ा बहुत टूटा-फूटा German शायद सीख पाती. But now, the aspiration which parents has, I want for my child best. And that's here where we can get the best from. More options, much better faculty. Where we used to say, हमारे पास में तो ये है ही नहीं. We do not have good faculties, we do not have good schools in our city. But today you have everything. It's just the right way, right tool, the right manner you use. That's one thing which we all need to understand. In that case, it will be all on just like a one resource thing. जैसे खाना बनाने के लिए कढ़ाई और करछी की उतनी ही जरूरत होती है, अगर हम सारा दिन लेके घूमेंगे तो शायद उतनी यूजफुल नहीं है. So that one seed which we all need to put for everyone, or for even for our kids, is to use everything as much as it is required. The no screen time is equally important for child and for adults. We need to adapt that. Over to you. I hope I would be able to answer your question. Ajita.
Yeah, thank you, Prachi ma'am. Firstly, Hanuman sir, when you asked this question, I have to say that it is, you can see that this question is coming from a true guru because it's thought-provoking, and I have been constantly pondering upon it. So I will answer it in two parts. First is about the digital end of it and the screen time, and the second is of course the ethical part of it. So we are living in an era of, I mean, this is a digital world. We are living in an era of internet. And is it healthy for students to spend so much time on the screen? Maybe yes, maybe no. Mostly no only, obviously. But when there are pros and cons to every situation, when the pros outweigh the con, it is I think it's a healthy choice to make. Now, one of the sessions I had with parents when we were starting X-Late, so we don't have pre-recorded content, or we don't have content or modules where people have to spend a lot of time digitally. We have live sessions. But one of the parents said this only कि बच्चे जब तक सामने टीचर को नहीं देख पाते हैं या क्लासरूम में जो चीज सीख पा रहे हैं, आप लोग वो सिखा भी पाओगे कि नहीं, क्योंकि at the end of the day this is virtual, this is digital, and all of us have grown up in environments where it has been much more personal for us. So one of the parents only answered कि अगर बच्चे अभी जो कोविड के बाद पूरा सिचुएशन अराइज हुआ है, वहाँ पे अगर ये टाइम किसी चीज प्रोडक्टिव में नहीं गुजारेंगे, whether it is learning, whether it is any kind of hobby, whatever it is, whether digital or non-digital, they will make choices that will involve screen time but won't be as healthy. Let's talk about something as simple as the social media addiction today. The age of anybody starting Instagram or something like that is 13. Facebook is planning to build a platform that is for under 13 as well. And there are so many apps that students, YouTube, my 4 or 5 year old cousin knows how to open those animated videos and play YouTube. So these are choices that they will have to make, the parents will have to make. We can just ensure that it is किसी भी चीज की, like Prachi ma'am said, किसी भी चीज की अति हमेशा हानिकारक ही होती है. So it all comes down to that. And yes, as together, as startups, as founders, or as an ecosystem, we can take aware decisions where we are ensuring that whatever we are doing, it is all calculative and it is all looking at the benefit of the learner. Talking about the ethical part, I think it is very, I mean, for me at least, I have thought about it multiple times, especially, and I would like to talk about the White Hat Junior controversy, because my first job was with Upgrad, which is an edtech company, and while I was moving out of Upgrad, I was planning to join White Hat Junior. So I closely know how the company works and everything, but I could not take the job. Now when White Hat Junior started, and because of the entire controversy that was there कि आप इतने छोटे बच्चों को कोडिंग सिखा रहे हैं या जो भी चीज सिखा रहे हैं, उनकी वो उम्र नहीं है ये सारी चीजें सीखने की. So when the entire controversy started, a lot of debates started as well. So I went through the new education policy. Now the new education policy in itself, on one of the clauses, says that coding is going to be a compulsory language 5th standard onwards in the coming near future. When will it be implemented? We don't know. Was White Hat Junior trying to do something that was before its time, before the market had already adapted to it? Yes. Were they wrong in it? Not really, because they don't technically teach the coding aspects. If you look at the curriculums, it is all a very different thing. What went wrong with that startup is the way they marketed it. अगर आप एक 6th क्लास के बच्चे को या 7th क्लास के बच्चे को 12 करोड़ की जॉब प्रॉमिस करोगे एंड उस पर वो प्रेशर डालोगे कि फिर से पूरा जो शर्मा जी मेंटालिटी एग्जिस्ट करती है इंडिया में कि देखो उनका बच्चा कोडिंग सीख रहा है, हमारे वाले को अभी तक कोडिंग नहीं आती है, दैट शर्मा जी की मेंटालिटी इज रॉन्ग. So it is not about what startups are doing, it is about how you're promoting it. That is where the ethics come in place, and I think it's a very personal choice how you're promoting whatever you are doing. So as long as you're not putting that additional pressure on students, and as long as you're not contributing to the Sharma ji mentality कि देखिए इसने तो बायजूस से टैबलेट लर्निंग कोर्स कर लिया, आपका बच्चा तो अभी तक क्लासरूम में जाके पढ़ रहा है, I think it is a fair choice. But when you start doing it in order to gain business and you lose sight of the core reason you started, that is where you go wrong. So yeah.
Absolutely agree.
Okay, Great. So, sir, I
Great,
think
great, really nice.
I'm
Thank you.
satisfied with the answers.
Ranu ma'am, I have a question if I can put on.
Yes, sure, ma'am, please.
Okay. Hello everyone. It was very nice hearing all the panelists. Very good afternoon, Hanuman sir as well, Ranu ma'am, and everyone else present over here. Okay, actually, I am listening throughout whatever everyone is saying and telling and guiding, suggesting everyone. I even have a question that everyone is concerned and everyone is, focusing on to the problems which children are facing, they are unable to join, they are unable join the schools right now, they are unable to attend the classes, everything is available to them virtually nowadays. Yes, and as you said that parents are having, it is on to the parents, they are having the option. But is there anything, or is anyone in the market, or anyone is thinking about the parents as well, counseling of parents as well, that no, these are the things. See, parents, they also have so many things to do, or they are the back of the mind, they are also running into the financial crisis, some are having family issues, some are having, internet issues, they are having 2 to 3 kids, in the house, they cannot afford, the data for one child. See, what I have observed is, even I have a small child, I have a 3-year-old kid. Even I'm worried about her, that she is not able to learn, that don't want her to pressurize for, study, to know the digits, to know the numbers, but I want her to have a environment of, people surrounding, to learn how to interact, to learn how to grow into this world. This is more important. But they are lacking it, and we cannot substitute it with virtual. And virtually, if you want to go again, you need to have resources for this. You need to have an internet, you need to have a smartphone, you need to have a laptop, you need to have ample amount of things, and you need to have time as well, and which is, I think very difficult for everyone to take out if they are in a kind of joint family, husband is somewhere else, and
And
mother too
and
alone,
also
mother
particularly mother
mother
has to
alone
take
is
care of
struggling.
everything.
Yes, mother, thank you so much for getting my point. The mother alone is struggling a lot. She's no helper, helping hand is there at home. So, here right now also, I was doing other things, and I was even, uh, listening to you as well. And I need to pay attention on my daughter also, that she's roaming here and there. She won't fall here and she won't go there. So yes, I was, little curious to have a platform, or have a, the institute, or even a group or a cell which should counsel parents as well, that see, these what are your problems, okay, resource is a problem, these are the solutions. You want to go for free things, these are the things. You want to go for time, time is the issue. So I need that, I was looking for the things, or to come up from the, the great panelists, or the people who are here, to at least give some, throw a light onto the parents point of view, also parents counseling, because they are also human, they are also dealing with the same issues, the same things. The kids is facing the problem, the simultaneously it is a problem of a parent as well.
Madam,
Yes, so it
just
is
before I
open to all. I think it is a panel discussion, so open to all, means anyone can put on their.
yeah before panelists speak about it, let
Yeah,
me
yeah,
share that
yeah.
it is not a profitable business, because there is nobody who has emotions attached with the parents. And if there is somebody who has emotions attached with anyone, then only you will spend money, otherwise you will not spend money. Please go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to take this question since I belong to counseling organization. हम लोग क्या करते हैं? So I don't know, but as I said earlier as well, the solution is important.
Yes.
We promote, I mean, as much as we can, and we have been doing it since the pandemic started. अगर हमारा बच्चा, like we were saying, कि अभी obviously उसको he needs to grow, he needs to go out. This is the current situation. Let's answer this question. I'll be answering that into 5 areas. So the first part which you said, that he needs to go out and explore and think, that's every mother wants. My child is a growing stage, and since last 1.5 years, he's just inside one. Imagine, we all are here in Rajasthan. I don't know whether you're from Rajasthan or not, but yeah, we are all here. We have houses where our child can even go on terrace or even outside. The Mumbai, there are other places, flats. The child is unable to even come out of one flat, one bedroom flat. No, there are chawls as well. We are in a very, very, very better situation, very good situation, to be honest. We see from one point of view. That's the major thing when we start looking. So that one perspective, we need to look from different perspective, right? Now, forget about being a working mother. Yes, that's a most difficult task, being a homemaker. Now, how about working mothers? I counsel not less than 10 students every day. That's 10. Although on our portal, more than yesterday's call were recorded almost 78 counseling calls from parents and students. 78. Imagine. And every day it goes like one. I think last week when it started, when there was quite a hype of COVID, the injections were required too many. So the first major one-day call we crossed was more than 200 calls. I mean, that I'm talking about my city today, right? I am not talking about my other offices. So yes, it's not about one platform where we only counsel students, we counsel parents, we counsel kids, we also solve their problems. Only thing we need to look upon from the one another perspective. दूसरे नजरिए से सोचने की भी उतनी ही जरूरत होती है. Now, when we talk about, when you said the fourth point, which you mentioned, that obviously the financial situation, the certain problem, government and other organization. Let's talk about central, CBSE, Central Board. They have come up with certain portals for students as well in terms of counseling. It's not only us. So they have provided n number of counselors. We are also registered for them. So there are n number of counselors which are toll-free numbers, and you can connect with the counselors and they are able to help out the parents and also to the students. Also, there are a number of areas where the free education is also provided. So I am the state president of Elementary Education Council of Rajasthan. And almost, I believe, we collected 1,000 plus gadgets and we provided free of cost to the students जहाँ पर education easily accessible नहीं हो रहा था, and including the material in it. So वहाँ राजस्थान बोर्ड या CBSE बोर्ड है कुछ नहीं पहुँच पा रहा, so we provided them those gadgets, and also we collected huge lot of books which we provided to different areas to all those students. Right? This gave me is just again one problem solving. So when it started in the same month we started, and by August. So March is started, and by August we could deliver this huge. It's not about myself. It was again a group task. It's a team task. Everyone was working for it because this is one problem. But what can be the solution for it, right? So is again I would say I understand from your point of view. But if I talk about myself, there are a number of parents ask me, "आप इतना काम कैसे कर लेते हो?" Time management, one thing. Again, बच्चा समय देख करके आपके पास नहीं आएगा. Obviously, because he is just 4, but I give my child, quality time, and he is having an equal timetable. So 7 बजे उठना है, मेरे साथ योगा करना है. He has his own timetable, which is very much scheduled. It's not I'm making him robot, but I'm teaching at the same time. If my in-laws are doing puja, so he knows. So what the core values, root values है. And let me tell you, हमसे पहले वाला जो समय था, 5 साल से पहले बच्चा स्कूल नहीं जाता था ज्यादातर. So वो एक रूट कॉज जो होता था, वहां से जो नर्चरिंग बच्चे की होती थी, वो पेरेंट्स से इन सबसे ज्यादा कनेक्टेड भी रहता था. नाउ डेज 1.5 साल का बच्चा प्री प्राइमरी या प्री स्कूल में भी जाकर के, एंड देन वी से कि हमारा बच्चा हमसे कनेक्टेड नहीं है. वी ऑलवेज एक्चुअली फोकस मोर ऑन प्रॉब्लम्स बिकॉज वी हैव रीजनिंग and we have reasons, and we majorly focus. Being a human, we always come up with it, but we do not come up with the root cause why this problem actually occurred, and now what can be the solution to it. So when any parent and student comes to me, my way of framework is, okay, this is your problem, but what actually happened कि जिसकी वजह से ये problem आया. नमक नहीं डालेंगे, ज्यादा दाल में नमक डाल दिया है. आप सोचो कि इतने stupid answers दे रही है, but अभी मैं कहूँ मैं बबूल बो रही हूँ और मैं आम का स्वाद नहीं आ रहा है. Their mothers even ask us कि मैम ये मैं टाइम नहीं देता. He is always busy in gadgets, always. No, how many times you have actually spent real time with your child and said, let's cook together, let's do the chapati ka just bhale thoda sa jala hua sekke, yeah, I'm washing and we just dry the dishes and then put that in the this. We do not. What do we say to our child? Let me tell you, we say ki main kama rahi hu, I'm doing because hame itni facilities nahi mili, we are trying to provide you all these facilities. tum padho. Now to a mother even, if we say the same thing कि तुम काम करो सारा दिन कि तुम्हें सारी फैसिलिटीज मिल रही हैं, even to a bahu, daughter-in-law, we said तुम्हें सारी facilities मिल, what else do you require? You are here to work. We said we are not here only to work, we have our own things as well. हमारी अपनी भी तो life है. Similarly, a child also has his or her life, right? Let them live, let them grow the way they are. एक पेड़ में आप बीज डालोगे, एक पौधा इधर से उसकी डाली आ रही है, इधर से, let them grow the way they are. Let them nurture the way they are. Observe. Figure out every single thing. Don't helicopter mother nahi hona hai. Helicopter parenting nahi karna hai. Observe. And then give them another perspective to think. I think yesterday only, I met one child on virtual platform only, and he was very much worried, ma'am, my mother is this, my mother is that. He was literally not very happy with her parents. She's like this, my father is like this, because it's not only parents, it's about kids as well. So the moment also starts जहाँ पे बच्चे भी अपने parents को पसंद नहीं करते हैं, because we have been in a protective format. But when a plant is growing in an appropriate position, in its own way, it's growing in its own way, and तब भी हम उसको उतना ही पानी दे रहे हैं, हम उसमें उतनी ही खाद डाल रहे हैं, हम उसकी खराब टहनियों को काट भी रहे हैं, उसमें कीड़ा लगता है तो हम पत्तियों को हटा भी रहे हैं, बट प्यार से. हम क्या एक्चुअल पौधे को उखाड़ के बाहर फेंक रहे हैं? नहीं, राइट? बट हम उसको नर्चर कर रहे हैं. सिमिलरली किड्स आर, सो हमें उनको नर्चर करना है, एंड इन अ वेरी पोलाइट मैनर. Obviously they can't be in our shoes, we need to be in their shoes, right? And understand, and that's what the duty of a parent is. I hope I'll be able to answer. If in case anything is there, we are always available. So Remarkable Education, that's what our duty, that's what we do. You can anytime connect. And also we recently had one session with all the parents, what problems they were facing. So onto our channel, YouTube channel Remarkable Education, and our Facebook page as well, you can watch that session with the parents and also with teachers, and two with kids, कि बच्चे क्या सोचते हैं, parents क्या सोचते हैं, teachers के साथ भी क्या challenges हैं. At the same time you'll be able to come up with. And still, if you have any further question, definitely you can post onto the media, onto our channel, and we'll make sure that we come up with this, and that's absolutely free. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. And actually, this was it was not my personal question, but it was general means what I have seen, because even I am taking classes and I'm looking onto the parents, and they are talking to me. They are asking queries with me, and I'm resolving their questions and queries also. So it was on their behalf, because even I am addressing so many,
Actually, I think Arjita madam would focus on further on
sure.
your issue.
Thank you, sir.
My take is this, that can there be a digital business on this also? That is what I am saying.
Yeah,
So that is exactly what I was going to say, that Himangini आपने सवाल जरूर पूछा है, but all the time I'm thinking is कि this is a profitable startup idea. So hopefully one of the 67 attendees starts this up.
In that.
Just to add here, actually, Himangini, there are very a couple of very known startup. Parent Tune is one, Baby Chakra is one. So I know a couple of them, and it's a $1 billion market. Very honestly, it's a big market, and startup have found this gap honestly, and they are working on it. So that's one part of it where parents counseling support is happening, like Prachi is mentioning. She is also focusing on parenting and all those things. So many startups are there doing this. They have tapped this market already. If you search it on Google, you'll find hundreds of names across the globe. Just one point, I'll take next just 1 minute only, just to put my opinion on this question. So from a edtech perspective, honestly, when it comes to parents, we do take care of the parents. Our marketing strategy is definitely focused on the parents. Our technology background that we create is focusing on the less number of resources to be used. I'll just take one example here. So we are like a sort of online class, right? So now we have a challenge whether with a low bandwidth also we should be able to have a very seamless experience of an online class, because people don't have Mac, who cares, right? They don't have heavy, laptops, a good bandwidth, fiber optics network nahi hai kisi ke paas. They might have just a class being taken on a small 5,000 rupees smartphone, even less than that, on a 4G network with a less of 220 Mbps. So that is where our technology stack comes into the picture. We have integrated that technology stack which is supporting the low resource course model. Even for that matter, we are very much there, ready to get into a tier 3 and tier 4 cities also. We take sessions in a regional languages, and we know that the problems are there. Still there are many problems, very honestly, but yeah, just to give you an idea, when a startup is there, we think of lot of things from a technology stack point. Obviously we have to choose those technologies which is best suited for a low income person also. So just to give my viewpoint on that. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you so much, Nandi ma'am, and thank you so much all the panelists for the answers. Now we have many questions lying in the chat box. So one of a student, Ronak Mandawat from FSM batch, he is asking, ma'am and sir, if the competitor are less educated and have less knowledge and use less quality raw materials, then how they become successful and big business tycoons? So this is a question from a student. So any one of you can just answer, and then we can move to the next questions, please.
Is this a is this a situation, or is this a, because I'm not clear with the question itself.
Ronak, you can unmute and ask.
Actually, the candidate has asked that even if the startup or any business which has lower contents, or you can say lower facilities, everything lower, but still they become big tycoons, while others who are having better than them, they are not able to.
Okay, understood. So there is one thing that runs parallelly with the startup ecosystem, that is the new funding raise that has come into picture. So what happens is, when anybody starts up, I'm pretty sure nobody starts up with the intention that we will not be at the top of our quality, or we will not serve our true purpose. Everybody starts with the right intention. After a certain point, what happens is, when you get investors on board and when you have people putting in money in your startup, you are not the only decision-making body, and a lot of things, as in how you scale, it becomes quite challenging to keep the quality in check. This is from my understanding. I'm not yet one of the big this thing, but this is what I could understand from the studies. So when you scale, when you have too many people taking a decision for you, your focus somewhere, and this is proven, your focus somewhere changes from whatever your original vision was to more and more fundraising, exit for the current investors, and there's an entire parallel process that follows. So I honestly feel that is one of the core reasons that this happens. But I also feel that it is not intentional. It is just a consequence of how the funding system entirely works, that this eventually ends up happening.
So thank you so much, Arjita ma'am. Now I would like to wrap up, because questions will be endless and endless. And participants, you can just connect with our panelists. They are so gentle, so you can connect with them anytime, and you can get your queries solved over there also, since we have a time constraint too. So I would like to invite our organizing secretary, assistant professor, Dr. Sachin Gupta, who is the organizing secretary behind this program. So, sir, I would like to hand over the session to you for the word of thanks, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Ranu. Am I audible?
Yes.
You are audible, sir.
Yes. So it was literally a fantastic panel discussion I have attended so far, and I am very much happy and inspired to know that yes, there is much more to do in education industry by launching any startup. So as we have a custom in our university to provide vote of thanks, so in order to fulfill that custom, first of all, I would like to say my heartfelt thanks to our very own coordinator of Entrepreneurship Development Cell and director of Faculty of Management Studies, Professor Hanuman Prasad sir, who gave his kind consent for the conduction of this panel discussion and who is always with us. Sir is the person who does lot of efforts for any of the activity which we conduct, and without blessings of sir, all activities are baseless. So thank you so much, sir, for providing your blessings and support each and every activity conducted by Entrepreneurship Development Cell and Faculty of Management Studies. Thank you once again, sir. I give my heartfelt thanks to all the eminent speakers for their willingness to participate and most likely flexibility with time. Uh, Prachi madam, Archita ma'am, or Himanshu Puri sir, in spite of having busy schedule, they all gave their kind consent that yes, Sachin, we will be with your panel discussion, and yes, definitely we will do our level best and impart our teaching for the sake and welfare of the students. So thank you, Prachi ma'am, Sonal madam, Archita madam, and Himanshu Puri sir for your precious time that you devoted for the sake and welfare of our students. Many thanks from the state and core of my heart. I would like to take this opportunity to provide my heartfelt thanks to all the students and all the patients listeners who were with us during entire session. So thank you, and I hope that you guys must have enjoyed the session and will learn a lot in near future and will come up with these type of newly launched startup in education industry as well. Last but not the least, my special thanks to our moderator, Miss Ranu. She is the person who does each and every work of any of the activity being conducted by Entrepreneurship Development Cell, Navodhyam Club, any of the activity conducted by finishing entrepreneurship faculty of management study, and she is the person who does work under the well. So my special thanks to Miss Ranu. And one thing which I quote, which I want to quote right now, एक बात प्राची मैम ने बहुत अच्छी कही थी कि she struggled a lot during her career time when she was reading and when she was preparing for examinations during her career time in London, and she quoted that she is having 4 years daughter, and in spite of having so many troubles and difficulties, she is managing her own venture. So the crux of this learning and the crux of this lesson being imparted by प्राची मैडम की परिस्थितियां चाहे जैसी भी हों, हमें एक चीज ध्यान रखनी चाहिए कि जो एरोप्लेन है वो हमेशा विंड के अगेंस्ट में उड़ता है. तो मेरा ये एक हम्बल सबमिशन है टू ऑल दी पार्टिसिपेंट्स कि गाइस कीप लर्निंग एंड कीप ग्रोइंग and wish you all the best in your future endeavors. So thank you once again to all the panel speakers and to the management of the Faculty of Management Studies who gave their kind blessings to all of us for the smooth conduction of this panel discussion. Thank you once again to all.
Thank you so much, Sachin sir. Thank you. Without your guidance, it was not possible. And last but not the least, Hanuman sir, you are always thank you for all the motivation that you provide to all of us. I would like to thank my backend support team, Preetam sir, Hemant sir, Ria madam, Priyanka, Twinkle madam, who are always there. They are supporting me from the backside. That we are ready. If something happens, we are there. So thank you so much to all of you. And now we'll be having a national anthem, and then we'll be ending up with the session. So I request all of you to kindly stand up for the national anthem. Thank you so much, everyone, for the patience listening. Thank you, everyone. Now you all can leave. And we have shared the feedback form in the chat box. It will be open for 10 minutes only. So kindly do
Thank you.
not
Thank
miss
you.
to open that. Thank you.
Thank you all. Ranu, if
Thank you,
possible,
Himanshu
can you
ji.
take
Thank
this
you,
photograph?
Prachi madam. Archita madam, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Sir,
you.
if possible, can we take group photograph?
Yes, yes. Priyanka ma'am, kindly take the screenshot, kindly take the photograph. And Vardhan, you can please take the screenshot. A group picture. All of you are
Parasji,
requested.
put on video, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Parasji, Parasji, please put on video. Parasji is also present.
All the participants, Paras sir, kindly
Parasji,
put on your
Paras sir,
video.
Paras sir,
Yes, sir,
put on
I'm
your
trying,
video,
but I
please.
think again it
Yeah,
is
Sammu Sang.
not happening from this side.
Acha. Okay, no problem.
On the care video, I hope.
Okay. Kindly take the screenshots, all of you. Kindly put on your videos. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you once.
Thank you so
once
much.
again.
Thank you
so much, sir.
very
Thank
much.
you, sir. Thank you so much.
You all may leave, please. Thank you. Thank you so much.